You might be able to get that down in there, actually. Let me grab a coupler. You flip it, and then, yep, you can even do it sideways. Then tuck her down, then push this on there and see if you can squeeze that down into the sand and then back up into that. I'm gonna go throw an extension on that 90 real quick. I might just write TR60 on all these pieces and just keep them together, you know what I mean?
Is that how we should bought them?
Try and reuse these filter bodies?
No, trying not to carry out all the sand.
Are they ever reusable? Or are they just
It can be. These ones, no, not worth it.
Yeah. More little hair off of
them. Yeah, they're 2011. 13-year-old sand filters. Exactly.
Are they fiberglass?
Correct. They started switching to a little bit more of a plastic composite with it, but these ones are pure fiberglass. Gotta love the long sleeves for that. Be begging for a t-shirt in an hour. Alright. That should be our final backwash for this filter. Let her rip. We want to keep doing the spa as long as we can because we're trying to drain it too. Right now what I'm trying to do, because we have a skimmer in the spa, is I'm tricking the system and making it suck from the main drain. So that's what these skimmer diverters do. The skimmer diverters that are in the bottom of the skimmer, you got two holes in the skimmer, one sucks, one doesn't. Not getting as lucky as I want.
Convert the flow from the drain to the skimmer.
Yep, so there's two holes, one sucks, one doesn't. One's going directly to the pump, the other one leads down to the main drain. So whenever this is inside there, I have it closed off. Now what I'm doing when it sits down there is it's sucking from the other hole. So I'm trying to get us to be able to backwash, and that's why I'm doing a loop like that. I just use a section of vacuum hose in hopes that it'll allow me to do what I want it to. Just trying to trick the system. Both of the drain pumps are in Daniel's truck, and we don't have keys. So don't turn that one on. That one trips the main.
It's not draining?
No. It really wants to catch. We'll just let that keep limping along for a little bit and we'll start messing with this one. I wonder what happens if we're backwashing two pumps at the same time when they share a line. We'll find out. Should be fine. Sweet. Starting to catch a little bit. So the spa is raised, but it doesn't spill over into the pool. So it was just a design they did back a long time ago. The reason that some people do that is to keep heat in the spa. So because this doesn't share the same system at all, if you heat the spa, it's going to retain the heat. So if it was a spillover, it'd be taking pool water on its nightly cleaning cycle and putting it in the spa to spill over, which would cool the spa down. So this one we're keeping as a separate system because he always wants to retain that heat so he's not starting from 50 all the time because they use it a lot.
Makes sense. So basically the spa's got its own filter and pump.
Yep. We're going to do a 420 for the pool and a 320 for the spa. We're doing an 076 for the filter pump, the 3 horsepower variable speed. We're cutting out the jet pump and we're going to put in a 2 horsepower TEFC WhisperFlo. And then for the spa, we're going to do a 065 with an IO board. And then what we're going to do is we're going to try to get the lights onto the I/O board and the jet pump on the I/O board, install all new breakers, all new whips, and we're going to try to get everything controlled through 2 apps on the phone, the IntelliFlo3s. But it keeps running dry a little bit, but we're almost to the bench. The bench, it would be money. Close that one. I'm gonna cut that and cap that real quick so we don't fill up the spa filter with sand. Inch and a half cap.
This one? It's too big?
I just need to get this. Oh, right in front of my face. If you ever do this, always make sure you're in backwash mode. Triple check, because you could fill up the inside of the pool with all the sand easy. Don't ask me how I know. Pretty rock solid sand right here. I'm just scooping it around, get it off the walls.
This one all good already?
Yep. I pulled the drain plug on it and let that one start draining out. The water will drain a lot faster now that there's no sand behind it.
To get the lower levels of sand as it goes out?
Yeah, this right now I'm basically to the bottom, but we have a lot of calcified sand that's stuck up in the walls.
And that's just, if you don't break that up, it's going to be heavier and harder to get at.
Correct. Should be our last backwash. You can let it drain.
Big ass puddle.
Let's see if that got it all. Or at least enough of it. Let's cut the blower line like right there. More.
Taking these out too?
Huh?
Taking it out?
Yo. We're just gonna cut and loop the plumbing on this one. That's a little warped.
We'll take it out from here or from here?
You can do it actually from there.
From here?
Yep. So we're gonna cap it up there. Man. Let me get my big channel locks, we'll get those off. Now let's chop out the pump and see if our levels are good. Actually, I'll just cut it right here. If you want to start unwiring it, you can just clip the wires right in the back.
All right.
This one, homeowner said he wants to keep. These two we'll throw away. Oh, I gave you a 5/16. Yeah, just cut it at the conduit connector. You don't even gotta take the back off. Yep. Shipping away. Got all the sand out. We're getting we got the heater, first filter out, spa pumps out. Now we're going down the line, jet pump, filter pump, other filter. Then we're gonna level it all out, drop our pads down, plan our equipment, start install.
Probably the hard part is just clear it all out.
Especially when it's a sand filter, because you just got all that sand. It just, yep. There's no skill level to the sand, just the labor. Exactly.
Brakes are off, right?
Let me go pull the main.
Just make sure.
I know all those breakers are off, but not pull, just turn it off. Yeah, I'm gonna readjust some of this anyway.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
There'll be enough flow.
Oh yeah.
Since I got one of those, it's one of my favorite tools.
My favorite's the impact.
Oh, yeah.
I can take apart the pumps in a matter of minutes instead of sitting there with a ratchet, getting what I call pump knuckle.
Like putting together cabinets when you have the impact.
Uh-huh. You got it. Well, the impact in the right hands, though.
Well, there's that.
You got to have that throttle trigger. Otherwise, it's like, oh no, oh! A little too much oomph on that one.
So that motor's gone, Danny. That one's probably ready to be refixed. I mean,
It could be rebuilt potentially, but with variable speeds out and all the whatchamacallit, with all the laws. Yeah.
The other one seemed okay. I'm gonna try to use it.
That's what I said. We left that one to the side for you.
If I usually make a shop tool out of it or something, or a grinder or something.
That one.
out or here?
That was your old backwash line.
You don't need that because it was just for the sand filter.
Yep. You're not going to have any backwashing anymore.
Am I screwing with your video?
No.
No, this is good.
Yeah.
Because you're answering people's questions that are probably watching.
Yeah.
You can edit this, but you can tell me to shut the fuck up if I have to.
No, I'm usually the one asking questions like that, so that's good that it's the actual homeowner.
Okay, cool. Feel those questions.
Yeah.
Danny, in a few minutes, can you go away for a while? I reckon maybe 10, 20.
We have some new questions.
I'm glad we're going to change the trajectory. We'll never do that because this is not good.
No, they're actually 2 of them are completely bad. There was some miswires in here too that were sending power into different directions that we didn't want it to go. So I'm going to clean a lot of this up.
This is fantastic. So you got to know plumbing, electrical, a little bit of everything here.
Yep. Little fitting from your old jet pump was resting on a clay tile. They had clay tile shims underneath the heater to balance it out.
Isn't that how professionals do it?
Yeah, buddy. Good old quarter minus though. That's the hard thing. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna probably gonna take the 2x2 out.
Yeah, if you can take out the concrete pads, you're going to use the poly pads or whatever they're called.
Well, what I'm thinking is if I have enough earth that I can grade it right over top of the old cement pads so that it has more of a solid base to sit on, you know what I mean? Then I'm also,
those first, though?
and then also bring the land up a little bit more so that it's in less of a low spot.
You know what, that'd be great because I was thinking I'm going to have to take away a lot of this dirt, but like you said, if you can raise it up.
Yeah, that's what I think I'm going to do. I'm just going to bring a bunch of this over.
That would be fantastic.
Because we got a mountain over there too, so I can bring some of that, some of this, cover those up, level it, and set my new pads down.
Excellent. That's a good idea. I guess those concrete pads are not broken or anything, yeah?
No, so it'd just help with any kind of ground settlement that could happen.
Yep.
Instead of there being pockets everywhere, it's only going to have a few pockets that it can try to unbalance. But most of your settlement should be done now.
Okay.
Should.
Although the gophers in our yard, they're having a heyday, I'm telling you.
Yeah, it's every yard though.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Getting rid of them.
it's insanity. Yeah, I mean, there's just, they're here, and yeah, that's all I can really say about it.
It's not going anywhere.
It's terrible.
Yeah. Right, saying the same thing about us.
Yeah,
You're not going in.
they're everywhere, man.
What's wrong with them?
These ones left, new ones came. What the heck?
Keep going. They're multipliers.
Not yet. Go back. You grab that end. I'll grab this end. Pick it up. That should be good.
So that mine was for again. I guess the backflow. I was wondering what the pipe was for.
Yeah. And it was crazy because they were teed together, which I would never have done. So you'll never be using them again, though. A more solid base for everything. That's my theory behind it. And we're gonna get up in elevation versus being lower in the ground. So I always like having stuff up above so you get runoff on all sides of the pads.
Oh, so if you lift, I know people lifting those and putting dirt underneath is not a good idea because of settlement.
I wouldn't unearth them.
Not unearth them, they're already settled.
Yeah, because then if you were asking for more settlement to happen.
Gotcha. Okay. I see what you're saying.
So we're gonna go to about right here. Bring that in, let's go to the level. It's perfectly level. Sides. just a little bit. But it might turn on both lights at the same time. We're not sure how the wires are sent over there yet. So it all depends on if they have independent wires ran.
Okay, yeah, because I didn't know what this box was for, but Jerry said that's for your pool lights.
Yep.
But he thinks that maybe the GFCI is dead. That's why the pool lights may not be working.
Very good possibility.
So
we'll know a lot more once I get over to that area. So I will let you know if the pool lights have any issues. And going back to those bolts and the pumps being bolted down, cement is super porous.
Oh, yeah.
So what was happening is the water, when you open the lid or do any work on the system, the water was going down and eating away at the rebar. So if you look at old pads, they all have an X, and that's where the crack is. And it's because that's where the rebar runs. So the rebar rots out, rusts out, then loses its structural integrity, and then you get the crumble. So these ones don't do that. They have a foam, then they're covered in chicken wire. And this isn't just like regular cement, it's like almost like a shotcrete material. I'm imagining as well, yep. Several years. Everybody was trying to switch to the plastic ones, and I don't know. I'm not a fan.
Definitely gains some nice elevation now too. It's nice and high. It's not as dirt. Yeah.
I think it's clear out more of this too.
You need more?
Nope, I'm gonna take a little bit. That was in a total low spot.
They were like underwater.
Oh, really?
And
Yeah.
there was a drain, and there was a wash behind the house, but there was a drain from the wash into the equipment. Yeah, and then it's like a bowl in there. So it's like
Expert level install.
They're like all underwater. Yeah, not good.
How much higher did you have to go?
That one, it was
6 inches?
6 inches raised, yeah. That one they poured concrete pads.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, too much.
They just bought the house for $3 million, and they were remodeling it, putting like another 4 into it. And I was like, you know, if you're doing that much, let's pour some pads.
Hey, come on, don't skimp.
Yes. So we're doing the 1.5 on the spa because we won't have to use the full 1.5 for that. So with the 3 horse, our intentions there were to be able to run it at like half the speed, so you're getting your energy savings. Otherwise, we would be running it at a full speed where you would not be saving any money.
So this is for the spa, and then there's one just for the jets, which is right?
We're gonna do the 2x3, then the 2x2, but it's not gonna fit.
You have 2 more pads? Or 1?
One, a 2x3. Let's see. Okay. So let's get that out of there.
Oh, that was quick. I don't think the other one's going to be like that.
No, it is not. Nope. All right. So this is going to be the return straight to the spa. That's our air blower line. This one I can't do that too, but what I can do is move it. Let's relocate that real quick. There it is over there, huh? it'll go.
Right there?
Yep. Right there. Do a 90, 45. Yeah. I'm pretty good at pulling on it too. I can tell when it has that breaking point.
Yep. It gets brittle after a while, even underground.
It can.
Yeah,
And you never know if it was really running in Schedule 40 underground.
oh yeah, I gotcha.
I've ran into some stuff that looks like Schedule 10. You barely move it, it just crumbles.
We gotta tell you, we gotta change. Place for electrical.
That's gonna take a little bit.
The pool glue, does that work when pipes are wet?
A little bit. Not that wet.
So together?
Yeah, as close as you can. Definitely need to come up.
Yep.
It's actually almost sitting. That's kind of crazy.
It is level, no?
It's almost like perfectly level.
It's pretty good. Right?
Pretty much perfect. IntelliFlo. Is basically getting its own pads. Got a spot for activities right there. All right, we'll start on the pool side. Now we got our equipment set. We got Winkler Plus unions. Okay, so these are going to be your 2-inch adapters. These are what come standard with the filter. Right, we'll go ahead and get this in here. This is going to be our outlet, and then the top one's going to be our inlet. So we're going to start at this side and then work our way down. So right now what we want to do is we want to make our connection from the outlet to the outlet.
It's not
So
straight.
we're chopping all this out anyway. So down to the ground.
Oh, the aerator line?
Yep, we're going to put on a new 3/4 inch ball valve on that one too. Let's So this one we're abandoning, that's the old backwash line. So we'll go ahead. Probably gonna bring this up to 2-inch all the way. So we'll put our 3/4 inch ball valve on, we'll put our 2-inch two-way on there with the reducer bushing in there, and then we'll bring it up 2-inch. What we could do is we could come out with a 3-way.
Never really done it.
But that's what we're doing. I'm gonna change that up. We're gonna go with a 3-way valve right there. No 3/4 inch ball valve, we'll just go directly into it. That should work out. Changing up the way we're doing that just a little bit. Bring that over there. Just hand me those primer and glue. Alright, so first we'll glue it into here. So we can go ahead and primer up our pipe. I do both male and female ends, even if it's brand new. Some people will tell you it doesn't matter because it's brand new, you don't have to primer it. I always primer both ends of everything that I'm doing. A lot of people hate on the blue glue. I personally like it just because I can start the system up and run it right away. You don't gotta wait too terribly long for it to cure. You just put a generous amount on both ends. Whenever you push it in, you wanna make sure that you hold it there for a minute, because otherwise you get some push out. So if you let go of it too soon, it'll kick back out, and then that changes up the whole way. So if you had everything pre-cut and you're going to make your glue joints, and that pushed out like 1/4 of an inch, that's gonna throw off your entire manifold. And you're gonna be like, oh man, what happened? It was all perfect. Now what am I gonna do? So now we're gonna kind of just judge where we're gonna have our valve at. We do have movement in the filter, so we don't have to be exact with this. But basically I'm lining it up with the aerator line and the return line.
All right.
And then we know that we need to come in like about an inch, inch and 1/4 into the pipe. So I'm gonna line up my saw blade with the inlet of that. So about right there. And I won't glue this one yet. This I'll wait till I get these glued,
Right.
and then I can bring the filter, move it back out, and then back into place. There's that. Now we'll line up our 1.5 returns. Sometimes you'll get the stubborn taint that won't come off with just the primer. So you'll take a little bit of the hot glue, go around it, let it sit for a few minutes. A little bit. That one's not going to come off all the way, but we should have a good enough layer off of it to get a good bond. So when we push the fitting down, it's going to scrape the pipe too. This amount on both ends. Push down, do a little 1/4 twist when you can. It's not crucial, but if you can get some movement on it, it's always nice because it spreads the glue a little even. Now we'll go up with some 1.5 inches. Even though we're painting the pipes, I always like to clean up my glue joints, just have it. Now, whenever you're bringing this up, you want to make sure that you got your valve nice and level where you want it. That looks pretty damn straight to me.
Yep.
Now, whenever you're making your connections with 90s, you want basically your ends to meet up like that. So right here, I'm gonna have to account for the little bit of a step up for the 2.5 inch reducer bushing. So basically what I'm gonna do, I'm just going to come right up to the lip of that. So like right there. Now we'll take our reducer bushing. This generously. Like that. For all practical purposes, we're going to use a street 90 on here. A lot of people hate on street 90s. I don't think it impedes it that much, and it's only going to be one, so we're not going to really end the world with using a street 90 right there. We're gonna get our reducer bushing. We're gonna come back to do the aerator line though, because I do have to go pick up some 3/4 inch plumbing. So we'll make one solid connection there real quick. I'll set it on the pipe just for a second, just to get my turn perfect where I want it. Reducer bushing in on this side. Now we'll do the suction manifold and then we can do our pump outlet. I'm gonna have you do a lot of the suction manifold. I'm gonna show you where to cut and all that fun stuff. T-gaskets for the big IntelliFlo3. These ones recess into the house. When we get to the 1.5 inch ones, you'll see the difference. But these ones have a little recessed T in them, where it'll actually like drop into the housing, whereas the 1.5 inch ones are going to be just standard O-rings. So these seat into a nice house basically. Just kind of press them into place, and then when you tighten the union, it's going to do the rest of the work for you.
Is that smaller?
Yeah, this is the 1.5 horse, and that's the 3 horse.
Oh, okay.
So because we're only doing the filtration on the spa, we don't need to have the big 3 horse on it. Put that in there. So go ahead and primer, glue, and push that all the way in. And you only have to do as much as the dauber, the depth of the dauber. You don't have to do the whole pipe surface.
Right. I've done a a few pipes, but I just struggle with the names of the, you know, like this reducer, then the street 90 over here. Yeah.
I'll go over that with you.
Yeah, that's
okay. Yeah, there's so many more fittings now too.
Yeah, exactly.
We got over fittings, we've got pipe extenders, inside pipe extenders, outside pipe extenders. Yeah. So now we'll let that dry out for a second. Let's go ahead. Maybe go a little bit further back with the pump. So let's see. Go ahead and glue this into place and cut it right at about in between the 2 and the C.
glue first,
Yep.
and then cut.
And cut it in between the 2 and the C.
Oh, the 2 and the C.
Roughly
They're
about,
at the bottom.
right about there.
Right here?
You're good, right there. All right, now go ahead and cut right underneath both of these valves. Perfect. Now we're not gonna glue this on yet. So get our shims off of there. Push that into place, make sure it's nice and center and get it leveled up in between your 2 pipes. Right there. All right, now we're gonna raise up the skimmer and vacuum line. So we'll go ahead and glue the 2-inch couplers onto both one of these.
Okay, right?
Yep. Go ahead and glue this into that side. Perfect. Now go ahead and get your saw. Oh, right there. And what you're going to do is you're going to line it up.
So line it up to the bottom right here?
Yep. So right at the bottom on this one, because we're 2-inch, we're not 1.5 inches, so we're not going to the top side, we're going to the bottom side of that lip. Yep. You got a little nick in the pipe right there. Pretty money right there. Now let's do that to the same on this side.
Are you cutting this? Right? We're gonna cut it.
Yep.
So the gray glue takes longer to dry, or?
Yeah, I'll use that on certain systems where it's not going to run for 5, 6, 7 days, or whenever I'm doing like pop-up dome assemblies, I'll use the gray glue. I like the blue glue just because this particular one, Pool Tight, it's made so that we can run the system within minutes after gluing our joints.
Oh yeah.
It sets faster, so that's why a lot of people are scared of it. So that's why I do plumbing a little bit different. A lot of people dry fit everything. I don't dry fit everything. I dry fit what I need to dry fit.
Right.
So like I dry fitted this socket because I'm not ready to glue that yet. So now we'll get our cut down on this one. Let's center that back up. A little bit of play. Go ahead and glue that into there.
Oh, we're just gonna put a 90?
Yep. And then we'll get our pipe into here, make our cut for that side as well after.
Oh yeah, you can see it pushes out.
Especially when you're going into the valves and unions. When you're going into like pipe into 90, pipe into coupler, it doesn't seem to kick back as much. Yeah. But when you go into valves and stuff like that, it really does kick back a lot harder. Cut like right at the T. So like right on the line of the T. Alright, so that would get us right up there. So let's get this pipe here, glue it into there, and make our cut on this side. Should be good. Now what I do is we're lined up perfect there. We just want a little gap.
A little gap, okay.
So now come on the bottom side of it and run your blade up right with the pipe and go.
Oh, and just cut it.
And then just Get a little bit more center. There you go.
But it's not right there, just
Yep.
at the line.
Perfect. Now we'll pull our pump forward. We'll go ahead and glue our 90s on. When I'm doing it onto the 3-way valves, on the 90s themselves, one side doesn't have any kind of writing on it. This side, the 2 is going to be at top dead center.
Okay.
So I always use the side with the writing to do the tops of the valves. So when I glue my fittings, I push them all the way on, as far as they'll go on, and I line the 2 up in between the 2 screws.
Right.
So then I know that I'm center. So let's go ahead and glue those on. Don't worry about wiping that excess off. We'll just fill that in with paint.
That's far enough, right? It went all the way.
Let's just make sure real quick.
Right there.
Yeah, we should be perfect.
Oh, that's the outside. There you go.
Looks good. All right, go ahead and primer. I'll help you on this one. So we'll always have a little bit of play in the pipe, so we're going to expand it. And then we may end up having to take a couple little shims off of each leg. We'll see.
These legs?
Yep.
This? Oh.
We might. We'll see how far once it presses down. Nope, we're good. Right into it. So let that dry up for a minute, and then we'll glue the front of the pump right into it, and then we'll do our outlet of the pump to the inlet of the filter. Whenever I'm doing the outlet side of it, I won't ever glue anything like this while it's attached, because all the glue is going to run down in there. It's going to get on the O-ring, get on the threads of the union, all that kind of stuff. So I always hold this stuff in my hands while I'm doing it. So kind of get your fingers inside the fitting, because you're going to go around on that. Then I hold this side, inside, glue, flip, push.
Thought it was it's the same thing. Huh?
Yep, but that one, because it's sitting horizontally, the glue doesn't run down. This one on the top of the pump sitting vertical, so all the glue will start rushing down inside the pump housing. So I always glue these ones first. I'll even glue in my setup pipe.
So
whenever you're doing this one, try to get your fingers inside the pipe.
Inside?
Yeah, it'll make it easier for you.
So the goal is not to get...
So this one you'll hold on the outside.
Yeah, the outside.
And then the other one you're going to hold on the inside. Yeah.
So not have glue trickle down, right?
Yep. And then go back this way. If you don't want the glue to run down onto this. Doesn't matter if it comes down on this side, but that side. That's where it's not going to seat right, and it'll mess you up here. Sweet.
So it doesn't go down the thing, right?
Bang. And just snug on it, you don't got to crank it down yet. And we got our other outlet, or our inlet union is over there in that bag. Go ahead and get that, get the O-ring on there, and get that in there. We'll grab a small pipe. Smack it with the palm. There you go.
Oh, okay.
Bang. Let's go ahead and glue that into the valve.
Oh, this?
Yep. So primer, glue, and then we'll pull it right in. And then we'll do the same with the pump. Had the old pad kind of shifted a little bit, so it made it more deceiving.
Yeah, you can put it more this way.
You can see the pipes are staggered coming out of the ground. This one's further in now.
Yeah.
So we can change that.
This one for.
That's the return for the jet, so that's going up to that outlet. So let's go ahead and move this valve just like so over there. Get us another nipple. Let's actually cut down just a little bit off of that. Cut like 4 or 5 inches off.
So we'll kind of make it straight with the right here.
Yep, perfect.
Is this straight? So, you know.
Let's go pull some wires. Going all the way up to the breaker, so I want to make sure I have enough slack on the wire. Let's look at the I/O board real quick.
Trick. Very tight spot over here.
extended lines. Nothing's live right there. We're just leaving enough meat coiled up so we can try to pull it through. Otherwise, we're just going to cut it down here, rip everything out, and then have a fresh new line ran. Now that's how it stays though. We will be installing an I/O board on this one, but we're not going to be hooking anything up to the I/O board yet, just because we ran into a problem where the break in the line not allowing us to be able to use the lights, and that's what we're trying to hook up to the I/O board is the lights. Once that line is ran, then we'll come back out and hook it up. Just gonna pop in that I/O board, and then we'll make a blower whip and go from there.